A shy girl schedules a private surgery, but when she meets her, she sat quietly in the small, dimly lit waiting room, her hands clasped together so tightly that her knuckles turned white. Nina was not the kind of girl people noticed in a crowd. She had always been quiet, soft-spoken, the one who preferred to stay in the corner of classrooms, unnoticed, blending into the background. Her oversized glasses slid down her nose, and she constantly pulled the long sleeves of her sweater to hide her trembling hands, but beneath that shy exterior was a heart heavy with years of silent battles. Nina had lived her entire life with a condition she never spoke about openly, something that made her insecure, something that made her feel less than. It wasn't life-threatening, but it weighed on her spirit like chains. Her appearance had been mocked in school, whispered about in college corridors, and pointed out by cruel strangers. She had grown accustomed to avoiding mirrors, avoiding photographs, avoiding people altogether. For years, she had hidden behind her books, her headphones, and the shield of silence. And today, after years of saving quietly, working odd jobs, skipping luxuries, she had finally scheduled a private surgery to correct it. A surgery that, she believed, would change her life. She told no one. Not her parents, not her one close friend, not even her colleagues at work. This was her secret mission, her desperate attempt to finally feel normal, to finally breathe without fear of judgment. But what Nina didn't expect was that this hospital visit would change her life in ways surgery never could. When she walked into the surgeon's office, she kept her eyes down, clutching her file nervously. Her voice trembled as she introduced herself, and then she heard it gentle, warm, unlike the clinical tone of most doctors. "Good morning, Nina. Please, have a seat. You don't need to be nervous. You're safe here." For the first time, she looked up and met the eyes of Dr. Arav Malhotra. He was young for a surgeon, perhaps in his early 30s, with a calm demeanor that instantly put her at ease. His smile wasn't the polished, distant kind professionals often wore. It was real, almost as if he understood the storms inside her heart. Nina tried to explain her case quickly, clinically, keeping her words short. But Dr. Arav listened differently. He didn't just nod at medical terms. He looked at her as though he was trying to read the pain she had carried for years. After she finished, there was a long silence. Finally, he leaned forward and asked softly, "Nina, can I ask you something? Why do you really want this surgery? Is it only about how you look, or is it about something deeper?" Her breath caught. No one had ever asked her that. She had prepared herself for medical questions, for forms and signatures, but not for someone to ask about her soul. Her eyes welled up, and before she could stop herself, words tumbled out. She told him about the teasing in childhood, the whispered insults in school, the way colleagues avoided eye contact, the way she felt invisible or worse, mocked for something she never chose. She confessed that she had spent nights crying into her pillow, days avoiding social gatherings, and years believing she wasn't worthy of love or friendship. By the time she finished, tears blurred her vision, and she quickly covered her face in embarrassment. But Dr. Arav didn't rush her. He let the silence hold her gently. Then he said something she would never forget. "Nina, I could perform this surgery for you. And yes, it might change how the world looks at you. But do you know what I see right now? A young woman who has survived so much pain and is still standing, still hoping, still fighting for her own happiness. That is rare. That is beautiful. And no surgery in the world can give someone that strength that already lives inside you." She blinked at him, stunned. She had expected a transaction, not a transformation. For the first time, someone had looked beyond her flaws and seen her heart, and something inside her shifted that day. The surgery was scheduled, but over the next weeks, as consultations continued, their conversations grew deeper. Arav never treated her like a case. He treated her like a person, someone worth listening to, worth encouraging. Slowly, Nina began to share more about her love for sketching, her secret dream of becoming a teacher, her favorite books. Arav listened with genuine interest, reminding her gently that her voice mattered, her dreams mattered, she mattered. The night before surgery, Nina found herself staring into the mirror, her reflection trembling in the glass. For the first time, instead of seeing only flaws, she saw a girl who had endured storms, a girl who had fought silently but never given up. She remembered Arav's words, that strength already lives inside you. And in that moment, Nina made the boldest decision of her life. The next morning, she walked into his office with a calm smile. "Doctor," she whispered, I've thought about it all night, and I realized something. I don't want the surgery anymore. I don't want to fix myself. I want to love myself." For a moment, Arav just looked at her, then slowly smiled, pride shining in his eyes. "That's the bravest decision I've seen anyone make, and I promise you, Nina, one day, the world will see the beauty you've chosen to see in yourself." Months passed, and everything began to change. At first, it was small things: Nina speaking up in meetings, raising her hand in class, posting her sketches online under her real name. But soon, the shy girl who once hid behind silence became someone who inspired others. Her artwork gained followers, her colleagues admired her quiet confidence, and her laughter became a sound people wanted to be around. And then one day, standing before a classroom of children as their new teacher, Nina realized her life had come full circle. She had once been a little girl mocked into silence. Now she was the woman teaching children to believe in their worth, to never let anyone define their value. Though in the back of the classroom that day, Dr. Arav visited quietly, watching her there. Eyes met, and no words were needed. Both of them knew that the true transformation had never been about surgery. It had been about courage, self-acceptance, and the power of one kind soul reminding another that they were already enough. And so, the shy girl who once scheduled a private surgery found something greater instead: self-love, purpose, and the courage to be seen. And sometimes, that's the most beautiful healing of all. Message for the viewers: no matter how broken, invisible, or flawed you may feel, remember, your worth is not defined by appearances, surgeries, or the cruel words of others. It is defined by the strength you carry, the kindness you give, and the dreams you dare to chase.